Hello to you, my fellow Dark Ones. How are you guys doing today? Welcome to Fabric. All of it. I hope you are having a fantastic day, and I wanted to mention that today's episode is going to be a teeny tiny bit different. But not for the reason that you think. That is the stupid reason. And how did I get into this mess? Let me try and explain it for you. Everything started with me showing off our fancy steam machine setup and trying to explain why electronic circuits are important, and therefore we need to improve our tech reborn infrastructure. I went up ahead and automated our blast furnaces and the industrial grinder that I have recently made with AE2, but ran into a lovely problem with Tech Reborn. Do you see these recipes? What do they have in common? Exactly, nothing. It's like the concept of standardization doesn't exist in Tech Reborn at all. So basically after 1 or 2 hours of recording and also playing around with it, I rage quit. No, I'm joking. I'm a big boy now. I just went rage mining. I also found another purple module. That was amazing. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I got into this mess. But at least on a very positive note, we have a decent supply of ores. So what the hell is it that I was trying to do over here? Well, first off, we have 2 blast furnaces which are going to process us aluminium, steel, titanium, and etc. Then we do have an industrial grinder, which is essentially a pulverizer, and I was trying to integrate it somehow into an ore processing system. And I ran into a ton of problems with filtering. Because for example, you will get galena, it's gonna give you 2 dust. And if you want to process it, it has to go inside the blast furnace and you will get lead and silver. That is all good and nice because if you get 1 ore, you're already automatically going to get 2 dust and well, you will get your 2 ingots. The problem is here. You also get small pile of galena dust. And if you just put 1 of them inside the blast furnace is going to clog up. That was just one example, there's like a million of them. But for me, in any case, it is a fresh day, so we would be able to start everything fresh. What we are going to need is a new blast furnace. Just for galena, I need lead, I need silver, and I have a feeling that standard machine casings are going to be enough. And don't you worry, for the second time for me and the first time for you, I'm actually going to explain the AE2 setup. But first I have to remove everything. This is going to be a part of a far bigger setup using Applied Energistics, ore processing, quarries and everything. So if it doesn't make sense at this very moment, I'm sorry, but eventually it will. Also, you might notice a very weird setup over here. Well, these are solar panels, they're high voltage, and the blast furnaces are medium voltage. So an MV transformer is going to take that high voltage and it's going to convert it into medium voltage. And I just remembered that no, you don't need a transformer upgrade. That was the whole point of using these kind of transformers, so that I can use the slots in order to have overclocker upgrades. But why do we have so many of them? That is a very good question, because it doesn't give you 4 amps of medium voltage, it just gives you 1 amp. So it takes 512. And it gives you 128. It's a ripoff. Anyways, the final blast furnace goes in the center in place of the grinder. As usual, we need 2 buckets of lava and we cover it. Is the heat going to be enough? Yes. We need 1500 for galena. So the part that they have to process aluminium, steel and etc. is actually quite fast and easy to automate. Yeah, it's very fast. With the overclocker upgrades. The complicated part is going to be the grinder. The reason that we are using a grinder is because it gives us a ton of byproducts, and as shocking as it may be to some of you guys, I love byproducts. I just love the fact that you put 1 ore in and you get 5 outputs out. For example, we give you copper. You see, nickel, gold, and copper. But here is the point. I really want to try and use Applied Energistics, and if you use Applied Energistics, you run into a very important problem. You only have 9 slots for filtering. You don't have anything more. And this guy is going to give us like 50 different outputs, and that is important. The part where we have to import from the blast furnaces is going to be super easy. We just need to have an import bus. And later on, when we have our ME setup, we're going to have an interface on the other side. But the way that we're going to provide items to the grinder is going to be different. Also, I don't really know if I should explain these things or not, but the last time that I did this and I did not explain, some of you were not happy. So let me know if you're interested in these things or not. Anywho, just to be able to complete everything, we are going to have 2 pattern providers, and we will have them on the blast furnaces. But they're not going to contain any recipes because we don't have the capability to automate them yet. I also made a 3x1 controller. It does not have to be this big, but it gives me more space. So now the import bus on the blast furnaces is connected to the controller, but you might notice that the items are not going anywhere. That's because the system that we have at this very moment does not have any type of inventory. But what we're going to do is that we're going to use an ME storage bus in order to have an external storage in the form of an ender chest. Or entangled chest. You see? Now it's going in. But here's the point. We just want you to be on insert, and we want you to have a filter. If I change the filter from aluminium to rotten flesh, everything is stuck. That's important. Now what I want to be able to do is that I have another entangled chest here at the quarry area, and this one is set to ores. I just wanted to check the color because I have to make a new one. Every quarry that we're going to have and we will ever have are going to output the ores inside this entangled chest. And this is the part where the grinder comes in. One thing that you should remember is that not every single type of ore can be processed by the grinder. So, for example, uranite. You see? Nothing happens. So the way that we're going to set filters for the grinder is going to be a teeny tiny bit different. What we're going to do is that we're going to have one more storage bus here. This is the input side. Why do they keep spawning? Anyways, we want the storage bus to be also on input. You might notice on the storage bus, you have way more filters. And by using a capacity card, you actually have way more. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a different color of cable, which is going to be light blue, and we're going to try and make an independent system. And how do we do that? We're going to use the fiber. It transfers the power, but not the channel. You see, the storage bus is active. If we set a filter for rubies on the storage bus and, you know, import items from the entangled chest like so, oops, that ruby should go in there. And do you know why it's not going in? You need to configure the site. Okay. No, it went in. Oh, and yes, I forgot, it does require water. Right at the start, you might notice the problem. Rubies are fine, they can go into an ender chest and into our system because they do not require any further processing. But the small pile of ruby dust and the red garnet have to be compressed. And this is where Spectrum comes in because we have the compacting chest. It can do a 3x3 and it can do a 2x2. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to make another subnetwork. This one is an import bus, and again, we just want power, we don't want it to be connected into the controller. We are going to have two storage buses, well actually 3 of them, because for example, we're going to filter the rubies so that it goes into an ender chest, and it will go to our system. So we put you on insert, and you see, rubies are gone, and the small piles that we get are going to go inside the compacting chest. We just have to put you on 2x2. For something else like copper, which is going to give us nuggets, we're going to need another compacting chest, because these ones have to be compacted in a 3x3. Oh, and you can't open it. Jerk. It's fine. We put it there. So now if the items go in, we get the ingots and we can import it into our system. The compacting chests are not very smart, so if you get 9 gold ingots, it's going to convert it into a block, and that's not good. We want to be able to extract the gold as soon as we get it, which that part can be done by a pipe, and I don't really care. It just needs a few speed upgrades. And we filter the acceptable items on the ender chest. That's it. Okay, so it's been maybe an hour later and I have set up all the filters. And I'm not joking to you, a crazy amount of filters everywhere. And I think with everything that I have done, we have automated literally every single ore, at least the ones that I have managed to get. Until now. Even tungsten, which automatically goes inside the blast furnace. And you see what I'm talking about? This is galena, and this is the blast furnace, which is only dedicated to galena. Since we only have one dust, which we got from small dust, this one is clogged up. It will turn back on eventually as soon as we get one more dust. Anyways, I had to make a few other changes. First off, we are getting aluminium dust as a byproduct, so it automatically goes inside the blast furnace. Tungsten is the same deal, and I have already brought the formation plane from the main base, and we have a few filters for it. Because some of the ores just have to be broken with fortune, and that's it. But let us throw back the garbage in and see how it works. We just take a random assortment of ores. Everything goes in. Yes, that is lignite. And here is one problem that we ran into. The grinder is not working. I'm guessing the formation plane is not allowing the import bus to do anything else. It's fine, we can put it on another network. But now we're fine. You see, everything else is working too. Even we get aluminium ingots automatically. I like this system. Because one thing that I really hate the most is to have ores and raw ores in your applied energistic system. I just want everything to be processed. Oh, and the result is great. You get every kind of garbage. Literally everything. Just to clarify something very important, this is not ore dabbling, this is our super complex ore processing center. Because ore dabbling, we started that on episode 1. However, you might notice that we are missing a few items. I wonder, what the hell are they? Yes, one more industrial grinder, and 2 electrolyzers. Because with some of the items, it's much better that we process them further. For example, bauxite. You know, it gives us titanium and aluminium. And yes, we are going to get hydrogen cells as well as compressed air cells, which I'm voiding. The cells are going to be put inside this chest. They will be extracted to a tank. The tank is going to empty the cell, void the fluid, and put the cell back inside. So basically, it's on a loop. Oh, and by the way, apparently there is a granny sink which works like the sink from Forge. Don't know why they had to use a different sink, but I guess they just wanted us to be confused. Anyways, passively we are generating tons of resources, and I think I have set up all the filters correctly. It's just that we don't have power. So I just went mining, and if we put the ores inside, it's loud, I know. This is how fast we get resources. It's nice. I really like it. And that is titanium. And it's purple. Look how fast it is. Also, when we started today's episode, I think we had like 3 or 4 stacks of aluminium maximum. Look now, I just set the filter for titanium, so we are also getting titanium, and very slowly, we're getting iridium. I'm happy with this. Really happy, because we're basically squeezing all the ores and getting every single byproduct. Also, now that we have this stupid setup and I have processed everything, we can remove the chests. These are the worst. And I was hoping we would be able to reactivate our quarries. I haven't been using them because I was lazy to process the ores. Those are steam quarries, so they're not the best, but we're going to upgrade them to electric very soon. Well, it's not great, but it's also not that horrifying. The problem is that I need more blocks. And also a lot of other things that can help me add more details. But for the moment, it's fine. It's functioning. We can change the color palette later on. Because now we have other issues. I could not find them for the longest time, and now I just find them randomly. Yes, I have been looking for this. The meteor from Applied Energistics. So you might notice that I have a few gizmos in my inventory, and that is because we want to start moving one of them. Some of you guys were telling me that I can silk touch them, and that is very true. You can silk touch it, but you see, it lost its quality. It's like the node from Thaumcraft, there is a chance that it will lose it. And we don't really want to do that with the flawless one. Are you kidding me? I forgot a cable. Yeah, that's always fun. So the way that you're intended to move these guys with Applied Energistics to your own base is with Spatial I/O. What do you need? You just need a cable, then you're going to need the spatial pylons, and you just make one corner of a cube. And yes, it's red because it doesn't have power. So here are some energy cells. Oh, they're already charged, okay. I didn't know they can keep the charge. Remember that the corner of the cube that you're going to make has to be one block larger than the cube that you want to move. You just have your spatial I/O port, you put a storage cell inside, and you just press the button. Voila, we have it. And just to make sure that we have it, you can press the button again. It's back. So come with me and we shall take you to our base. So this is the part that I have never ever done. Yeah, we have power. And I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work. I just know that we have to resummon the Certus quartz. You know, we press the button and yes, it's flawless. Don't need our spatial system anymore. Considering the fact that we still have crystal growth accelerators, I'm assuming we can use them with the budding Certus. Because otherwise, why would you have them? Let us see. Are you growing? Okay, you're growing. Well, it's not great. We are supposed to mine it using an annihilation plane, but there is also something from Spectrum. It's called the Crystal Apothecary. Apparently, you are supposed to put it in a geode in order to harvest the gemstones, but maybe it works with AE2. Shame. No. Would have been nice because I could have automated every single cluster. That is perfectly fine. Let us get our annihilation plane, and I think you need to have fortune on it, but it's the same system that we always have, meaning that we need to have a storage boss, and we need to have inventory for just Certus quartz. So if I place you, you're not harvesting, are you gonna give me something else as well? No? Or do you know why? You have to configure this stupid thing. This time, yes. We were successful. That's an easy system. It's just that maybe we need more budding crystals. Anywho, I got 2 more flawless crystals and decided to make a very small tower for our Certus quartz automation. The rates are not that bad. I also attempted to upgrade our hearty ring, but it needs thousands of pink pigments, so maybe in a future episode. Finally, I prepared some of the materials that we needed in order to set up our mob spawners. I didn't know that you can make blocks of soul steel. That really saved a lot of time. But you need compressed blocks. And to be honest with you, I think it's a bit overpriced. Because you know, it's not going to give you mobs for free. You still need the soul cage, you still need to provide it with power, and you still need to upgrade it. Anyways, let us get our first one for wither skeletons. So we need a broken spawner. We throw it in the fire. Thank you. We place it down and we put the soul crystal inside. Yes. No, I mean that's good. I want the cage. Oh, maybe you don't need to put the soul in the cage. You just convert it into a pylon. Okay, but I think I'm going to need more steel. No, that's enough. Here is the item that we need to make, the revitalizer. This is going to be our digital spawner. Does require a ton of soul steel and I'm not really happy about it. But in any case, we light it on fire. We throw the soul cage inside. That was fast. But we get the vitalizer. These are where you're supposed to install the upgrades. Are you kidding me? I need like 1 stack of steel blocks. I guess I'll be back. I told you, it's not cheap. Also, if you place it down, can you put the soul in? Yes, you can. Another thing is, only 1 soul? It's not great. I get the pylons. I just wanted to mention that the stupid structure that you see in front of you is almost 700 glowstone. These are compressed blocks. And that's only going to give me 9 blocks. But nice. Much faster than doing it 1 by 1. You need 8 pylons, right? Uh-oh. I don't think I even have enough glowstone to do that. I guess we will see. Yes, we're out of glowstone. Well, we have 34 blocks. I even broke a flint and steel. And I think we have just gone through 2000 glowstone, which is quite a bit. So this is the structure and we need 8 pylons. For the moment, we have 4. Okay, now that we have it, how does it work? Let me try and figure it out. I know for a fact that the revitalizer itself is going to require power. Very good, we're getting power. These are basic pylons, so they're not going to affect anything. It's just there so that the multi-block structure is complete. Another thing which I'm really not a fan of is that you need to put storage next to this. I mean, imagine making such beautiful textures and say, hey, put a chest. But anyways, the soul crystal goes in. After 650 ticks, we should get something in the barrel. It doesn't consume that much power, it's only 123. Although we don't have any upgrades. Well, the reward is not amazing. Let us upgrade some of the pylons. An enchanted golden apple is going to give us looting. If we want beheading, we need a dragon's head. I'm assuming efficiency is not the worst. And there's also one with experience. What the hell? Well, I don't have that, so for the moment, no. We also don't have rabbit's foot. That would have given us speed, but it's okay. We just want to try it. Then we go hunt rabbits. So now it's 190 RF. 32 seconds. But now we have looting and beheading. Oh, you can have 3 looting. Ew. Well, now we are at 300 RF with 3 looting pylons. Let us see what we will get. No heads. I think we need some speed. Let me try to find some rabbits. Where do you find rabbits? I know that in the desert you will always find some. These are babies. Are you big? Yep. I thought this is a village, but it's a ghost town. And these are ghosts. Ectoplasm. Well, rabbit foot seems to be very rare. We have 1. But while I was away, we got 2 skulls. Oh, and I don't have to go to a crafting table. We can do it here. So are you going to be faster? By 5 seconds. It's not much. Well, we have 3 skulls. I'm good. The reason that we want wither skeleton skulls, shockingly, is to get nether stars from withers. I know that is very shocking, don't you worry. However, the main question is, can we spawn withers in that? I guess that is something that we have to check. Well, we killed him. And no. To be honest with you, I think that also makes a bit of sense. Wither is not a mob, it's a boss. But there are many ways of automating that in this mod pack, so I'm not that worried. I also don't really like the barrel. Can we like put the barrel down there? Why do you still have power? I don't get it. Why aren't you losing power? And we're getting the loot. Okay, that's fine by me. A slight oversight, but at least we can take it to its permanent location. Well, I do say permanent location, but for the moment it's going to be here. You know, in the graveyard. Yeah, exactly. I charged it up, I removed the energy cell, and now it's fine. But we have our first mob farm. I'm happy. Technically the second one. The first one is just cursed earth. Anyways, before wrapping up today's episode, there is something that I want to do in the graveyard. The graves that we have in this mod pack are a bit bland. That's it. Although, since essentially it's a sign, you can also color it. So Monk is purple. And yes, he has a skeleton inside. Don't mind that. So I have been thinking, maybe we can have some sort of a better graveyard? I mean, what we should be able to do is that we should be able to dig down a bit, put some coarse dirt, then put the skeleton, and you know, maybe make a pile of dirt as well. I don't really know what you think, but let me know. But since we had a ton of requests, I'm going to add a few more graves. Not all of them in one day, just a few examples, so that you can also give me your feedback. The next one is going to be for Simon, and you do get a corpse. With flies apparently, and a flower for both of you. I guess the next one can be Mr. Pringles, and some purple dye. Also, you get a coffin. I like it, it's a bit creepy. I came to the swamps in order to find some willow trees, because I did notice that there is a mod which adds them. Unfortunately, they're not the best. I mean, I personally don't like it. Oh, nice. Rice. I forgot we have them. Yeah, not much of interest. We can go back home. I like this one. We also have a new tombstone for Chloe and Traverse, the purple creator of bubbly hearts. And just in case you want anything special in the afterlife, please let me know. We are happy to accommodate. I don't know, for example, somebody might require a few books, or some light to guide you to darkness, or I don't know. Maybe a flower. But joking aside, before we wrap up, there are a few things that I want to mention. So thank you for letting me know that rain is not going to affect the Tech Reborn machines. That had me worried. Although when I was making our ore processing, it rained several times, so I was like, okay, maybe there is a chance. Now I know that there's not. But some of you guys were also suggesting that we would be able to power Tech Reborn machines using power, but that's not something that we are going to do. The whole point is that we want to try different things. For example, yes, we have used solar panels millions of times before, but as soon as we get an alternative source of power, I'm going to change them. For things that we don't really have a good alternative, unfortunately, yes, we have to use power. For example, one of these multi-block machines is going to consume a ton of power and we need to power them wirelessly. So we can't use the Industrial Revolution mod. For those things we are going to use power, also for Applied Energistics, because we always need to have a consistent supply of power. I'm just saying that whenever there is an alternative, we're just going to use the alternative. You can hang these, right? I don't really know if it's going to look nice. Let us take a nap and see. Oh, and remove night vision. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Oh, and everybody in the graveyard requires protection. So the Baron is going to be here for you, until we manage to get Lilith. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.